you ever come back home and realize home doesn't know you anymore? Like every brick, every window, every piece of it has chosen to forget you. That's what happened to me the day I stood outside my grandfather's house, and my own sister called the police on me. My name is Elias Rowan. I spent 25 years in the shadows of cyber warfare, hunting ghosts across digital frontlines, watching code bleed and secrets die. I've shut down terrorist cells, traced data leaks that could end governments, and sat in rooms so classified they didn't even exist on paper. But none of it prepared me for the silence that hit when I came home. It was late September, the kind of night where the air smells like rust and endings. I stepped out of the cab, my uniform still crisp from my discharge ceremony, my heart heavier than the metals pinned to my chest. The house looked smaller. The porch light flickered like an old memory gasping for air. I pressed the intercom. A voice crackled back, sharp, cold. "Who is this?" "Leon?" I said softly. "It's me." My sister's tone didn't even shake. "I'm calling the police." At first, I thought she was joking. Then I saw her face in the upstairs window, hard, unrecognizing, like I was a stranger standing on foreign soil. They said I didn't belong, that I'd been gone too long, that the house wasn't mine, not in the will, not on the deed, not in their story. 10 minutes later, the sirens came. One of the cops recognized me from service. A quick salute, a flash of empathy. But it didn't matter. "This property belongs to Leon Rowan and Marcus Hale," the officer said. "There's no legal record of you having access." I stepped back. The gate shut in my face, and in that click, I knew the war had changed. This one wasn't on foreign soil. It was right here, in my bloodline. That night, I parked 2 blocks away, just watching the house through the fog glass of my car. The "For Sale" sign stabbed into the lawn like a betrayal written in plastic. I hadn't cried in years. Not for the fallen, not for the battles lost. But that night, something cracked. Morning came like judgment. I found myself in a small cafe on Jefferson Street. Across from me sat Rachel Vinn, an old friend turned investigative attorney. She didn't ask how I'd been. She just turned her tablet toward me. "I think you need to see this." My grandfather's address glowed on the screen, listed under Blackridge Holdings, LLC. "That's impossible," I said. "I never signed anything." Rachel's expression didn't change. "I know. That's why I pulled this." There it was, my name forged across a property transfer, dated 3 months ago. It wasn't my handwriting. It wasn't my signature, but it was my name. "They faked it," I whispered. "They planned this." Rachel nodded. "And they cleaned it well. Every digital record, every notary file, tampered. The man who signed off the transfer? Suspended last year for forgery. And that's when the soldier in me woke up again. This wasn't about property anymore. It was about truth. And I don't lose wars built on lies. That night, I went back. The house stood quiet, too quiet. The hydrangeas my grandmother planted were gone, replaced by sterile gravel and silence. Then I noticed the lights. Soft blue glows leaking from the basement windows. Industrial, not domestic. Next morning, Rachel called. "I pulled the utility logs," she said. "The house is drawing 3 times the legal power load. No permits, no records. Whatever's running down there isn't normal." That's when I got the note. Folded under my windshield, no signature. "If you're really Elias, meet me behind Alley 9, 11 p.m. Come alone." I went, because curiosity kills more than fear ever does. The man waiting looked like time had sanded him down. Rough hands, old scars. Said his name was Ethan Cade. "I knew your grandfather," he told me. "I've seen men come at night. Vans. No plates. Always black. Your brother-in-law's there every time. What are they moving?" I asked. "Crates," he said. "But they're not furniture." I felt my stomach twist, because I knew that kind of silence, the kind that hides operations under family roofs. That night, I came back armed, not with weapons, but with a camera, a recorder, and the kind of resolve that doesn't need armor. At 12:30 a.m., the trucks rolled in .4 men, and one of them was my father. I heard his voice through the vent, gravel-lined, cold, commanding. "If the officer finds out," he said, "cut her loose. Sever the tie." They weren't just selling the house. They were laundering defense contracts through it, using my clearance codes, using my name. When I went back in the morning, the recorder was gone. They knew. And that's when the text came. "You're playing with fire. We have your military psych file." They wanted me afraid. But fear's a language I stopped speaking years ago. Within days, Rachel built the case. Forged deeds, wire transfers, shell companies. Every thread led back to them. 2 weeks later, we didn't sneak around the house. We walked straight up to it, uniform pressed, court orders in hand. Leon opened the door, pale, trembling. Rachel handed her the envelope. "All transfers are frozen," she said. "Effective immediately." My father appeared behind her. "You don't know who you're fighting," he growled. "I do," I said. "A fraudster who forgot that truth doesn't need permission to exist." He tried to laugh. But the kind of men who build empires on silence don't know what to do when someone finally speaks. In court, I told the truth. In theatrics. No tears, just facts, clean, heavy, undeniable. They forged my name. They built their fortune with my blood and my signature. But truth is a stubborn thing. The judge ruled in my favor. 6 years for Leon. 8 for Marcus. 10 for my father. Cheers. No applause. Just silence. The kind that feels like peace. I didn't win back a house. I reclaimed my name. And in a world that runs on lies, sometimes that's the rarest kind of victory. They tried to erase me. Write me out of my own story. But you can't delete someone who's learned how to fight ghosts, because some battles don't end on the battlefield. They begin at your front door.